Good morning, everybody. It doesn't really look morning here, does it? I guess it's kind of little, not very bright outside yet. Anyways, welcome back to Monday Kicking the Pants. Angela Fallon here, bringing you a gentle push to help you level up in your life and fill you with a dose of Monday motivation and provide you with tips to accelerate your success in life and in your career. All right, welcome back again on Monday. Happy to be with you all back at home this week. I know it's kind of interesting whenever I go on a trip and I end up, you know, calling in here or showing up here from another location. And we do the best of what we can with what we have at the time. So, didn't mean to knock my computer that way. But today I wanted to give you, I want to talk about growth, first of all, because I've heard this a lot in like the last 3 or 4 days. I've gotten a couple of messages from two of my mentors that talk about growth being painful. But I really wanted to start with something just because I happen to be wearing the shirt. But today is, if you didn't know, it is World Bullying Prevention Day. And it's a pretty big day. I think you guys know that. I feel like bullying's at an all-time high these days than what it ever was. And that could be possible. It could also be the fact that it's more widely noticed and, with social media and all of the even, news media we have, things are more widely distributed, right? As opposed to decades and decades ago, we didn't have social media yet, and we didn't have, we basically had like newspapers, and then we had some news. We had maybe a handful of news stations, and now we just have tons of it. We have it online, we have it on the radio, we have it on TV. I think some people still read newspapers. I still get them from time to time at many of the hotels that I stay at, but bullying is a real deal. If you don't know, my middle son is actually on spectrum. He's highly functioning, but he doesn't get like sarcasm. And I think a lot of times he doesn't even realize that he's getting picked on whenever he gets picked on. Probably part of that is because he's the middle of 3 boys as well. So, he gets picked on at home, and I think he may, unfortunately, may be normalized to some of the being picked on. But I wanted to highlight that it's World Bullying Prevention Day. And just so you can see it, my shirt says "Be Kind," and everyone's wearing like this royal blue today for it. So if you see people around there, you know why. If you see like everyone's wearing royal blue today, is that weird? It's not weird. Anywho, getting to what I wanted to talk to you today, though, in addition to World Bullying Prevention Day, because it does matter a lot to me. It should matter a lot to everybody. But what I want to talk today about is growth. Like whenever you're growing through something, how it can be painful. This may seem really obvious, but it's interesting how I feel like it's kind of fallen on me a couple of times in the last week or so. I've had notes from mentors and even like newsletters that have all had the same type of message. And I'm like, you know what? This is a really good topic to talk about. And I thought I would just share it with you all as well. So I know it might seem obvious that whenever you're going through growth, lots of different kinds of growth, we'll go through some examples here in a second, that it's going to be painful. And a lot of people think, everyone else has success and it's easy for them. And that's never the case. It's never the case. Especially if you look at people who are really successful, like you guys have probably heard me talk about Michael Jordan a lot. He didn't make the basketball team in the 10th grade, and he went home and told his mom, and his mom didn't call the, high school coach and said, you need to put my son on the basketball team. She said, well, work harder for next year, and he did. And that's exactly what he did. And he did it the rest of his life. He became the best at what he did because he puts the reps in. You may hear me talk about Lady Gaga too. She had an entire Facebook group about her and how she wasn't going to be successful by all these haters that she went to school with, and I think even in her neighborhood. And then people say, she came out of nowhere and she was an overnight success. And that's not true at all. She was grinding it out for years to be the unique person that she is and have the success that she's had. She's worked her tail off, let's be honest. So those are just a couple of examples, but that's growth and success. But think about it, when you think about other examples of growth, they're also painful too. When you're younger and you're going through what we call growing pains, right? You actually have physical pains. I was 5'7" by the time I was 12. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and my legs and feet would hurt and they would just ache and I would cry. And my mom would give me, I don't know, or Tylenol or Motrin or something like that. But I had physical pains as I was getting taller and, growing into this body. I had physical growing pains. So, I mean, it's pretty consistent across our growth, physically and even emotionally. If you're trying to transform your body from, some people do like bodybuilding competitions, or some people go from, being long distance runners into wanting to put on more muscle to look a little more chiseled, right? And you've heard the phrase "no pain, no gain." When you're transforming your body, you have to put in the work, and sometimes it's gonna stress you. I hate to say it shouldn't hurt. I'm not like, you shouldn't be injuring yourself, but no pain, no gain means you have to put in the pain or the work to get your body to the body that you want, right? Whenever you think about how you get to success, what do you think you really learn more from? Do you think you learn more from success or learn from failure? If you talk to a lot of people who are very successful, they're going to tell you, and I probably said this at least a couple times. If you follow Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary V, he talks about, life is full of a lot of failure and a little bit of success. And I think that's very true, especially like in my career and my life. We all fail all the time, and then we look at everyone else and think they have perfect lives. And that's not the case. Most of us learn more from failure than we do from success, because you learn something for it and you check and adjust. You adjust to do something differently and you grow from it, or at least you should, because if you're repeating the same failure over and over again, you're not paying attention. The last thing or the last couple things I wanted to say is that, even whenever we talk about like relationships and, what happens whenever you have heartbreak from a relationship, whether it's, an intimate relationship or even like a friendship, you get more clarity on what you want moving forward. What are you actually looking for in a friend? What are you looking for in a spouse or, a partner? What are you looking for? And you learn that a lot of times from heartbreak. Sometimes you learn it from success too, and maybe you learn it from, say, like your parents. Some people stay in bad relationships because they look at their parents' relationship and think it's normal. I hate to use the word normal. I don't think normal really means anything, right? It's just more of a common thing. But anyways, we learn from heartbreak as well. And then the last thing about success is whenever I have friends who have really climbed the ladder, whether it's in entrepreneurship or, in corporate or all of the above, we have a phrase that says new level, new devil, right? So what got you here is not going to get you to the next level. There's even books that are something similar in that title. It really is about new growth. It takes new work. It takes different work. You have to do something different than what you've done to get where you're at, because otherwise you will already be at that level that you want to be at. So think about that. There really is usually going to be pain with growth. And sometimes it's something that you have to surge to get to. And then other times it may be something like, you got to find a new team to get you there. And that's just something to think about. But what I really want to share with you is hopefully some hope that if you feel like you're in the middle of that climb right now and it's kind of hurting a little bit, you feel like it's really stretching you, and maybe you think that you don't have what it takes to get to that next level, maybe that next summit or whatever, just remember to put one foot in front of the other. When I've been in my hardest times in my life, whenever we were going through cancer with my oldest, and then my second son, who was also having his own issues being premature, the only thing we were able to do is put one foot in front of the other. We didn't fall to pieces. We did sometimes. Everybody still needs a little bit of that, but we just kept putting one foot in front of the other. And it really is the way that growth is in the making. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope this was some hope for you. And I hope you guys are having a great Monday and a great week. So I just want to remind you all that if you're feeling overwhelmed and behind, though, you're in the right place and it's the right time. Keep putting that foot in front of the other. All right.